Hello! Today I have a special surprise for you. I have a collaboration. Today I'm joined by Drae Box, who is an author, and she's going to be sharing a bit about one of the books that she recently read. It's a non-fiction. And anyway, I'm going to pass over to her and then I'll catch you again at the end.
Hi everyone, my name is Drae Box and thank you so much to Joe for hosting me today as part of the BookTubeAthon. So today I'm going to be talking about Big Magic, which is by Elizabeth Gilbert, and in particular I'm going to be sharing some quotes with you so that if you are a creative, whether you're a writer, an author or an artist or a YouTube video creator or a creative of any sort, if there is anything getting in your way of putting your work out there, finishing a project so you can start a new one or anything like that, some of these quotes may help you. You can measure your worth by your dedication to your path, not by your successes or failures. I think this is a really good quote for us writers, because a lot of people, they'll release a book and then they watch the sales. So, maybe on the first day you have 8 sales, then 16, then the next day you have 2. And after a year, maybe you've been watching it, with dedication every single day to see what numbers you get. But then if your next book doesn't do as well, then you're going to be beating yourself up. And I feel that Elizabeth Gilbert was on, she had a good idea here where it did not matter so much about how well the book did. It's more about, actually doing the work, getting that next chapter out, getting the next 500 words out, whatever it is that is your milestone for each day, and then sharing it with the world if you choose to. So I think this quote is very useful for those of us who have a tendency to beat ourselves up, to quite literally to see our self-worth as our successes and our failures. And I know that I particularly have been susceptible to that in the past. So it was quite a nice reminder for me, and hopefully it is for you guys as well, that your successes and your failures do not make who you are. You can believe that you are neither a slave to inspiration nor its master, but something far more interesting, its partner, and that the two of you are working together toward something intriguing and worthwhile. I think this is quite an interesting way to be looking at inspiration, because a lot of people, writers especially, will be like, oh, we don't feel like it today, or I don't feel inspired today, or I can't come up with a new story idea. And then we sort of, we go on Amazon Prime or Netflix, or hopefully we actually pick up a book, which then helps us to get inspired perhaps. But for a lot of the time, I feel that we do kind of expect inspiration to show up without going out and looking for it. And I feel that, if we are constantly looking into things that we haven't perhaps looked into before, or we're looking at things in a different way on purpose, inspiration can find us a lot more easily. And then we can work together with it, rather than, waiting for it to turn up and then being grumpy and moody and just miserable when the inspiration fails us, because, we've not put in the work to make progress over a period of time. When I released one of my books, I was very concerned about the bad reviews. I loved the good reviews, but I also was very concerned about bad reviews. And sometimes I would let it toy with my head perhaps a little bit too much. So this next quote from Big Magic is of particular interest to those of you like me who perhaps listen to the negatives more than the positives. Recognizing this reality, that the reaction doesn't belong to you, is the only way to create. When I read this, I was like, wow, because it stops it stops that fear of how people are going to react. At least for me, it stopped that fear of how people are going to react to my work. How are people going to react to me turning up on YouTube? You know, how are people going to react to my, I don't know, my dinosaur necklace? You know, all my silly t-shirts that I occasionally wear. And, you know, it is true. You know, you can literally make yourself overthink things and then be focusing on all the negative things, all the people's reactions. And, you know, like this quote says, like Elizabeth Gilbert says, you cannot, you know, you literally cannot control how other people perceive or, you know, interact with you or just react in any way. You can only control your own actions and what you're doing. So if you're doing something, let's say you're writing a book. If you're writing a book, you know, whether it's fantasy, sci-fi, romance, erotica, anything like that, and you're enjoying it, that's what matters really. Let's be honest, that's what matters, because otherwise why bother doing it? You shouldn't be doing it for financial gain. You should be doing it because you love it. You know, if you do have financial gain later on, that's great, but, you know, expecting other people to always love your work is going to lead you down a path of misery, and I don't think anybody should choose to go down that path. So the last bit that I would like to share with you is actually two quotes, one of which is quite large, so I will, you know, put it up in an overlay. It's talking about taking things a little bit more lightly, having fun with things rather than putting so much pressure on yourself that, you know, your creative thing is just something that you despise by the end of the day, or hate, or just don't want to do, or drag your heels on. So Elizabeth Gilbert says, when people talk about their creative work, they often call it their baby, which is the exact opposite of taking things lightly. So Elizabeth Gilbert continues on the next page to say, please don't mistake your creative work for a human child, okay? This kind of thinking will only lead you to deep psychic pain. I'm dead serious about this. Because if you honestly believe that your work is your baby, then you will have trouble cutting away 30% of it someday, which you may very well need to do. You also won't be able to handle it if somebody criticises or corrects your baby, or suggests that you might consider completely modifying your baby, or even try to buy or sell your baby on the open market. You might not be able to release your work or share it at all, because how will that poor defenceless baby survive without you hovering over it and tending to it? So I think this quote is, or quotes, is of particular interest. I mean, we've all heard the saying, you must kill your darlings, and that puts so much pressure on people. You know, you've got to make it perfect, you've got to hack and slash at it, and it's like, okay, yeah, hack and slash, you know, as much as you want, but you don't want to be taking it so seriously. Like, one of the things that I do so that I can hack and slash without any worries is that I actually create a second copy of either that scene or, you know, if necessary, the whole manuscript, and then I take out the bits that I need to remove. So that's how I deal with it, so that I can still take it lightly without, you know, without ever calling it my baby. It gives me the confidence to be able to edit my work without panicking over it or even hesitating. You know, I can just quite happily delete. I think in one scene the other day I deleted 5,000 words, roughly. You know, and I wasn't afraid because I'd made this extra version of this manuscript, and I just whoosh, and off it went. So yeah, I think this is, you know, this is important, and it's a very new way of looking at things, because we've all heard that saying for so long now, and we all quote it or paraphrase it, and we don't think, hang on a minute, that's making our life harder as writers. So those are my quotes that I wanted to share with you from Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, to help you, hopefully, to see things in a lighter, more fun way, and to help you overcome any issues that you might be having at the moment with your manuscript, you know, or even if it's just an outline right now, you know, your outline of your novel. So thank you again to Joe for hosting me. And the book again was Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. Thank you guys. Bye.
Thanks, Drae. That was awesome. Some excellent quotes and some really good advice there as well. So anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I love collaborating with others, so I've really enjoyed doing this. I'm going to be over on Drae's channel as well, sharing some stuff later on. So anyway, yeah. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then please give it a like. Don't forget to drop by to Drae's stuff as well. I've got all her links and her bio and everything down in the description below, so go check those out as well and show your support. And yeah, check out some of the other videos on the channel before you disappear, and also come over and visit me at Linsdell.com as well, because there's loads more bookish stuff going on over there as well. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying BookTubeAthon, and I will see you next time. Bye.